All right, everybody. Welcome to Lifetoken here, where we allow creators and brands to go from impressions to actions. I'm your humble servant here, JP Hightek, and today we're about to dive into Lifetoken. I know a lot of you guys are wondering what exactly is Lifetoken. What is this new product, or how can this be an asset to you, knowing that you are a creator or you are a brand looking to really monetize, level up, and be recognized in the amazing things you're doing? In order to do that, today we have the pleasure to bring in our CEO of Lifetoken, of course, Jeff Dyment. So stay with me, buckle up, get ready. If you have any questions, of course, go ahead and put it in the comments section. We'll love to read your questions and answer them because we're here for you. All right. I love this product personally, and I'm excited to dive into this conversation. So stay with me right after this intro. We'll be right with you. We'll be right back.
Introducing Lifetoken. Lifetoken is redefining social networking for content creators, brands, and audience members through our participation-powered marketing channel. Value your audience like never before and reward your audience members with life. Take back control of your channels and your community, and build your presence on Lifetoken. Download the app now and find out how Lifetoken can power up your social channels.
All right, without further ado, let me go ahead and bring Jeff onto the stage just to let you guys know the app is available. Go ahead and download the app right now on your Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Hey, Jeff, how you doing today? Welcome to the show. How are you?
Nice to be here. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. A pleasure. The honor is ours here. Very, very excited to have the CEO of Lifetoken really dive into the story behind the heart, the mission, what this is all about, so we can hear from you. Before we get started, please take a minute, introduce yourself. Who is Jeff in reality?
Oh, my goodness. So I'm just a passionate tech entrepreneur. I've started 6 companies before, most of them having to do with distribution and efficiencies associated with, really, really broken processes. And so I've done prop tech, I've done asset management tech, I've done fitness tech and health tech.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is probably more important and more relevant to your audience, but basically globally, than all of those put together times 1,000, because
Wow.
really gets to the heart and fundamental problem that we're seeing right now, especially those problems that are being encountered by your creators and
Mm-hmm.
creators globally. So do you want me to just jump into it, or you just want to?
No, I love it. I actually
That's my
love that.
background. Yeah, that's my background. But before that, and I have to apologize, I was an investment banker, and I left, I left that world a long time ago. And I've always really, and I was an investor too. I've been investing a lot of money around the world. But the most passionate thing that I do every day and what gets me up in the morning is
Mm-hmm.
actually starting businesses, hiring people, working with, our constituents and our customer base, and building product that actually works. That's kind of what drives me every single day. So that's who I am.
Wow. Wow. Fantastic. I mean, I love it. In other words, in different way, you just love serving, giving back to people, based on your background. I love that. So, of course, a lot of folks here are like, okay, I hear you, Jeff. But what is this product? So, to you, right? I know
Yeah.
we have the side or the technical jargon and everything, but what is Live Token to you? What exactly is this product?
Yeah. So Lifetoken addresses one fundamental problem that every business, large and small, including every content creator, has sort of a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether you have 3 people that you're interested in reaching, or whether you're a very large community, an online gaming community, or whether you are a government entity, you have one fundamental mission, and that fundamental mission is reaching your intended audience
Mm-hmm.
and getting them to engage in meaningful behaviors. That sentence kind of runs the gamut from private enterprises to public enterprises to content creators and influencers. So the problem that we have, reaching a business's job is to reach their intended audience and have them engage in meaningful behaviors.
Correct.
Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't involve the purchase of a product. Sometimes it doesn't involve the acquisition of services. Sometimes it involves hitting the subscribe button. Sometimes it involves liking something, sharing something, commenting on something, downloading something, watching something, which is the core of what you do for a living, and also all of your content creators. That's what they do, because their goal is to drive content into these audiences and get them to consume it. And so right now they're left with a very, very small choice of alternatives for that, right? They're left with very centralized controlled entities,
Mm-hmm.
such as Meta, such as Snap, such as Google, and such as many others like ByteDance, that have some good to them because it's a free platform and you get to throw your stuff up on Facebook and you get to see
Right.
who
Right.
clicks. But
Mm-hmm.
there's a problem with that. Number one, you usually have to spend a lot of money to get promoted and get recognized. And that the capability of getting recognized and the probability of getting recognized is going down significantly over time as more and more content gets pushed to a very small number of networks, with TikTok being the latest one.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, there's the expense problem. There's the differentiation problem as well. How do you differentiate yourself when everybody's posting really, really creative content? And also, are you just enriching those centralized entities and the shareholders of those centralized entities while they're abusing or extorting or using you and your product to effectively drive revenues um, and drive shareholder value? Lastly, there's no guarantee of a conversion. And that's a big problem for me. And that's why Lifetoken was started, because I see a major problem. And I've used Facebook advertising and post promotions, I've used them all,
Mm-hmm.
and never been effective to me. They've always been a negative ROI. And why? Because there's no guarantee of a conversion. There's no guarantee that that call to action is going to result in a conversion. With Lifetoken, everything is guaranteed that you get a completion. You get a guarantee, and you control it. If you're the creator or you're the influencer, you control what that means to you and how much you want to reward in terms of life for that behavior. And you always are guaranteed a completion because you're the one validating that completion. So you're the one that's controlling who gets registered, you're controlling how much you spend, and you're also controlling who gets verified as completing the task that you've asked them to do. And that doesn't necessarily, as I said earlier, it doesn't mean buying a product. It doesn't mean subscribing to a service. It could be subscribing to your YouTube channel. It could be doing anything that you want to do, with creativity being your only limitation here, to allow your audience to get further engaged with you and to get them to do things so that ultimately it results in effectively a much larger audience and a much more engaged audience. That's the whole core focus of Lifetoken. So I'll go into the specifics in a second if you want me to, but that's what we do.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, you nailed it on the head there because, that is the core issue currently that we see on the market in regards to creators, where, there's no any kind of guarantee in reality when you look at, how it is done now. Creators are spending a lot of money, a lot of time and energy creating content, right? Putting it out there, pushing a specific message, being sponsored sometimes, right? And working with brands to try to help those brands reach a bigger mass. But the conversion rate is so small, right? Where
So,
these creators are like, okay, I've done all this work, but I'm not seeing the follow through, which is where I'm lacking this conversation going, because that have always been the real elephant in the room, where we're like, okay, I'm doing all this. How can this be sustainable for the next 5 to 10 years, right? As a creator myself, how can I really embrace, because we're now in the creator economy, right? So how can I really take advantage of the creator economy and take my ideas and really control the quality of the potential prospect that's, deciding to follow through on the call to action that I present to them and try to, now become part of my clientele per se, right? Because I mean, in other way, that is who you have when somebody decides to follow you, subscribe, or join you, becomes your clientele because you can turn around and sell all the product, service, and things to them, but have quality one. So when I hear you present it, it's like you're giving the creator the power to even, refine that and, decide on, the best quality follow through from the beginning to the end of a conversation that they can present or encourage somebody for a call to action. Will that be what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. We want to put the creators in control of what they want to do and how they want to do it, and to not give them a set of rules, but rather give them a blank sheet and a really compelling platform. So we just spent millions of dollars, and I'm not underestimating that, millions of dollars, building the next generation of social networking that has a digital marketing element to it that is catered directly to those creators and influencers. That is our biggest market. That is what we're going to serve. There's 250 million of them, if you believe some of the statistics. Very few of them are getting compensated adequately from any
Mm-hmm.
sort of Twitch or YouTube or advertising revenues. And the models of the platforms that they're currently on are broken as well, right? They're all advertising based, and so
Correct.
they're all about getting users and content on there so they can sell more advertising. They're using you as the product to actually generate the advertising revenues. And I ask a simple question, how many content creators with 300,000 people are actually surviving on just advertising revenues that are shared with you from Meta? Like zero, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think the Facebooks and the Snaps and the TikToks have had their day in the sun, and the next evolution of applications and social platforms is going to emerge, with Lifetoken being the first one. And we have a very significant leadership position, and we have a very significant moat around us. So we've built this entirely on a Web3 platform. So Web2 being the sort of the read write information transfer and possibly shop
Mm-hmm.
ecosystem. The Web2 being centralized controls where you could be social and you could like, comment, and share. And for a little while there, it was very innovative because there wasn't much good content. The problem with that centralized control is when it gets too big, it gets too crowded, it gets too noisy, and it's very, very difficult for you and your creators to break through that noise. So bring Web3 in, which sort of shifts the control back to the users, back to the content creators. It allows for a little bit of decentralized governance and development. And most importantly, it allows for peer to peer transactions to happen without that middleman. So a content creator has complete control over what type of rewards and what type of activity they wish to engage in, or they wish their audience to engage in. And that audience has complete control as to whether or not they want to engage with that content creator. And so it's a symbiotic relationship. It's a social contract that we've created, that platform to allow these social contracts to be created within 30 seconds. And the value is a digital asset for human energy. That's what we're doing. That's the exchange.
Hmm.
So everybody on Lifetoken, everybody's contributing life or offering life for in exchange for human behavior. And again, that human behavior might only take 2 seconds, but it could be something much longer. It could be create a web page. It could be, write some code. It could be do a dance or contribute to this competition, right?
Right.
Sign up for this
Mm-hmm.
competition. It could be sign up for this event and go online. And the remuneration is this digital asset. So digital asset, human energy. We've created the social system in the middle. Now, it's important that we develop this and built this so that it's very familiar to people. We wanted to build it so that it had the best elements of those established platforms so that nobody was scared off, right? It wasn't just a back end solution. It didn't involve complicated tech integration. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't
Mm-hmm.
involve sort of out of pocket expense. You download it from the app, you're up and running in about 3 minutes. And then it's again up to you whether or not You want to participate by creating posts, or you want to earn from other people's posts. So that's your choice. We're going to be layering on a lot of other features, such as spending the life that you've earned or spending the life that you've purchased, and registering for other things, and also gifting and tipping and pro accounts and private posts. There's about 95 features that will be layered on over the next year and a half that will make it that much more exciting. But right now, I would say that out of all of the products that I've ever built, coming out of the gates, this team that I have and this team that we have is extraordinary. And they've produced something that is of TikTok quality, but has events modules built into it, has digital incentives built in to every single post, and it's all built on the blockchain. And the importance of it being built on the blockchain, JP, is that it's immutable. So whatever's written to the blockchain cannot be undone without completely breaking the chain,
Right,
right?
right. Hmm.
So that's the power of the blockchain, is that not only is this a peer-to-peer platform without that intermediary controlling things, right? Controlling the price of advertising, for example. We don't control it. It's an open platform. But at the same time, we can't, if you have a social contract with somebody and that's been completed, is cemented in stone and is immutable. So that's the beauty of the
Wow.
blockchain, is you can't have a governing body come in and say it ain't your coin.
Right,
Because
right.
these are your digital assets, and if you leave the platform, they're still in your wallet. And you say, the next question might be that, what can you do with that? But we can get into that in a second.
Yeah, I mean, this is so good. This is so good and so amazing that we're in an era today where technology can allow us to do stuff like this, right? I mean, it's amazing because that middleman has always been a problem, because you can be in a long conversation with a third party. You came up with an agreement. You've worked. You've delivered and everything, and now that middleman decides to take some things away, or to arbitrarily decide that it wasn't worth what you did, or change the terms of the agreement, which has always hurt the creator. Both, I will say this, both the brand and the creators, because that's
Yeah.
always been the relationship between brands and creators. And so we've always looked for a platform where we are 100% in control. And having our token immutable is something that I've never seen before. I mean, you can lose your money. You have it. And of course, now the question, natural question is, okay, what exactly can you do with those tokens, right? In real life, tell us.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me correct some nomenclature here for a second, because there's a difference between a token and a cryptocurrency,
Hmm.
and a digital asset, and also a digital incentive. So we're describing life, which is this product, this thing that we've created. We're describing life as a digital incentive for a variety of reasons. So we're trying to stay away from the token nomenclature because of the regulatory concerns around tokens.
Right.
So ours
Hmm.
is not cryptocurrency. Life is not a cryptocurrency. Life is not a quote, security token. Life is more of a utility token or a digital incentive that is used inside of this ecosystem. And it's very important to make that distinction, number one. But what can you do with it, and how do you get it, I guess? So, how do you get it? First of all, the way that your content creators will get it, and the way that you're going to get it, and the way that you're going to be able to share it is, first of all, as we come out of the gates, we want a lot of people to experience this. So we put aside $105 million worth of tokens. I won't call them tokens, digital incentives, life. We put $105 million of life aside for what we call a launch partner program. And that includes, multiple billions of life that we will be very carefully distributing out for free to a lot of these content creators that are part of your network. So that's number one. So if they're interested in learning more about getting free life, so they can test it, so they can play around with it, so they can engage audience members,
Hmm.
uh, make sure they contact Tyler, who was mentioned earlier in our conversation. Number two, and this Tyler at lifetoken.ai. Number two, how do they earn it? So earning it is like, I mean, literally the imagination controls what you as a content creator want to do with your audience to get them to engage with you. Do you want them to subscribe to something or comment on it or attend an event or a webinar? Do you want them to watch something? Do you want them to like it or download it or share it? Do you want them to purchase something from your store, play a game, or even, sell something on your behalf as like an affiliate? They can, they can earn it from upskilling themselves, et cetera, et cetera. So it's all about what you want to do and how you want to
Mm-hmm.
remunerate your audience and how big that you want to make that. Do you want to do it to 10,000 people? Do you want to reward 10,000 people with one life? Or do you want to reward 100 people with 100 life each? It all depends. So how do you get it? First, well, you can earn it from others right off the bat. You can go in there, you can click earn on any post, and you can start earning it yourself. Number two, you can get it from our LPP program. And number three, you can purchase it in app. The price of life is right now pegged at $0.009. So it's zero point 0.9 cents per life. And we did that for a very specific reason. We priced it below the typical revenue of a call to action for a
Right.
content creator. It was around
Mm-hmm.
2 to 3 cents. So if there is a conversion and it's cost you 9 cents to get 2 to 3 cents, it's a really good return on your investment.
It is.
So there's three ways of getting it. And then there's an infinite number of ways of rewarding it. That's up to the creator's imagination. And then how to use it, what to use it on. Well, that's coming next. So that about 2 months from now, we will have the ability to spend your life. And about a month from now, we'll have the ability to gift life and tip life. So the people that have earned it can hoard it. They can just hold it. And when we launch the spend function, they'll be able to spend it on registration for online events or offline events, purchasing of NFTs, gaming credits, software upgrades, convert it to airline points, convert it to rewards points or credit card points or retail credits,
Wow.
get
This is
in front of
amazing.
a line, MVP status upgrades. And there's a consistency around these, and that is that there's a very low variable cost to offering this, but at the same time, it's important that the merchant or whoever is accepting life feels that they're receiving value. Sometimes the value they're receiving is just another customer, and they're getting. I'll give you a great example, JP. A very, very large telecommunications company that offers cable services and internet services came to us, and we were going back and forth for a number of months with them, talking to them about this, and they will be part of our platform. So it's a big brand. And they said, here's a great example, Jeff. What we want to do is we want to use our life that we're going to get from you and we're going to purchase from you. We want to use that to acquire customers, new customers. We're going to get them to engage. We're going to give them life. We're also going to still give them all the promotions that we typically give them, but we want to give them life as this digital incentive, because the digital incentive is going to have meaning, and I'll tell you how. The next day after they acquire a customer that would ordinarily sign up, but now they have that little extra incentive, they have 1,000 life in their wallet, they're going to ask for the 1,000 life back in a spend post. And they're going to say, spend 1,000 life on getting a premium upgrade to our cable services and get HBO Plus, Paramount Plus, and Disney Plus. So now what they've done is they've gone a round trip with 1,000 life. They're net zero, right? They still have that 1,000 life in their wallet. And they've acquired a customer, and that customer is demoing premium services. And that customer feels special because they now have given up some life, which they earned simply by signing up to a service they were going to already sign up for.
Right.
And now they're
Right.
demoing a premium service, and which they're never going to ditch, because once you're addicted to HBO Plus and
Oh,
Paramount
man.
Plus, you're never going to cancel that. I mean,
Woo!
so anyway, so that's what they said. So content creators should consider this a round trip. If they start with, say, 20,000 life or 200,000 life, and they're part of
Mm-hmm.
our LPP program, they can constantly give that away. And as soon as our spend function comes on, they can kind of pull that back by offering their constituents and their audiences something special in return for the life that they've already earned.
Mm-hmm.
So the life gets recirculated inside of this ecosystem, and it will always stay, for the time being, it will always stay at 9 cents. So there's no sort of inflation. There's no sort of degradation or debasement of this currency like there is with cryptocurrencies. This is a fixed asset that people will be able to earn and then spend.
In a different way, I hope you guys understand what Jeff is saying. I mean, right now you can sign up, right? You can sign up and you're getting free money, literally. That's what you're getting in your pocket, right? Because you're going to be able to spend this life to do amazing things later, to purchase, register, sign up. I mean, a whole lot of different things later. And the amazing part of this is, because this is what I teach every time in my community, is how to build a business surrounding the content you're creating. And how do you do that? We already know that in order to create a business, you need a call to action. You need to offer something and encourage people to sign up. Guess what? The incentive value that this has is a no-brainer, because now you're legit giving people life, right? They can get that asset. They'll be like, okay, just for signing up, I can get 10 life. I can get 20, whatever you're offering, right? Per subscriber. Now they can get that. But here's the beauty. That life is real money, is real digital currency that they can spend now on something else. Like he just said, upgrade to the premium value of what I'm offering here, or this conference is happening, or what this course is here, right? Think about that, creators. You have this master class. Now, guess what? Now they can spend that without them having to spend any money out of their pocket. I'm talking about traditional way of money, your traditional dollar or wherever you are in the world. And the beauty is, it doesn't matter where you're located. Correct me if I'm wrong. Will this work worldwide?
Yeah. That's the intention. I mean, when I say we spent millions of dollars, half of that went to 5 law firms that we had to engage to make sure that it's compliant in as many jurisdictions and regions as possible. So we made it as compliant as possible in the US, but also in the GCC, in the Middle East, in South America, in Europe, and in Asia. So those are the major geographic regions. We didn't focus necessarily on studying the regulations in Australia and other sort of middle regions, middle ground regions. But and we of course do not care and don't want to do business with rogue nations or any nations on the red list, right? So it will be available. It will be available to use and to earn worldwide as of today. We do have very strict user policies in terms of the content that's posted on the site. We want to keep it really clean. We want to keep it very regulatory and compliant. So we want it to be a really high quality platform. At the same time, super, super easy to use for everybody that doesn't know the first thing about blockchain or Web3 or anything else. And we want it just so familiar to them. So you'll recognize as soon as you download this, you'll just be comfortable swiping, comfortable posting, comfortable, watching and waiting for people to register for your events and sharing that post with other people. I mean, we've made it. We have a lot of redundancy in it too, which means that you have multiple ways of doing the same thing. So you have like 3 or 4 ways of sharing a post, and it gets people to the same location. It gets them to your post. Is all you do is create a post, you add a reward to it, you add a time frame to it that you want it to end, and then you share it. That's all you do. So the share function is like every other share function. The post includes videos or pictures that you want to add. The post includes any description that you want to add in terms of what people should do to earn your life. And the post may include also a URL, one URL per post. So it can bring them right to the YouTube channel or right to your store or right to your content and get them to do something. And then you are the ones that control whether or not that user or that follower or that subscriber actually did what you asked them to do. And there's a lot of ways of showing what we call definitive proof. And you're in control of that. We do not. We don't adjudicate. We don't verify. We don't validate. Well, we validate in the back end from the blockchain perspective, but we don't validate your transactions. And you're in complete control over that. Now, eventually, all of your users will eventually have a score relating to how successful their posting has been,
Right.
how happy their users have been that have been, registered for these posts and these call to actions and these campaigns. Um, and that score will be meaningful down the road as people start to transact with your creators, as people start to engage, because they're going to be looking for the highest return for their human energy swap, but they're also going to be looking to do business with and engage with those that are most sincere and that are most reputable on our platform. So that's coming as well as what we call a social influence score.
Nice. This is bringing one question. I can't believe we're almost at the end of our time here. Of course, there will be plenty of demos, plenty of tutorials and all that. People that are watching this interview or listening to it will be able to experience and see the app in action. One thing that I wanted to ask. Actually, I have two questions. So one, will brands, because let's talk about brands just for a few couple of minutes. Will brands be able to sign up to Lifetoken the same way as creators, or is there a different approach to brands or companies?
No, listen, everybody to begin with is on the same playing field, from the smallest creator, the smallest user, to the largest brand. Everybody's using the same platform and everybody's using the same reward. And it's just a matter of how creative and what type of posts and campaigns do you want to make to engage the audiences. So brands are entirely invited to use Lifetoken. They shouldn't be concerned at all with respect to the life as this digital incentive, because it doesn't compete with their loyalty program. It can integrate with them. It doesn't compete with their point system or the reward system. It integrates with them. It doesn't compete with their discounts or their affiliate programs. It embraces them. And this is sort of layered on top, which is, what's that extra incentive? So brands are encouraged to sign up. Now, brands are going to be looking to engage two types of audiences. They're going to be looking to engage the users directly, which is, hey, buy this, subscribe to this, do this, go on vacation with us, or whatever it is. We have a new shoe line coming out, so here's this campaign to get in the front of the line, spend 1,000 life, or earn 1,000 life by referring this link to 5 friends, right? Whatever it is that they want to do, they can do that. The second audience are going to be content creators. So it's important that the content creators get signed up, because the brands are going to be looking for active, engaged, high quality content creators on Lifetoken, because they're going to want to engage those content creators. They're going to want to embrace those content creators that have the most appeal and have the most active audiences and have the most engaging posts on Lifetoken, because that's going to allow the brands to effectively reach that audience, right? You have to go through the content
Correct.
creators to reach the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And so the content creators fill this very important role on Lifetoken, where it's not affiliate marketing. It's rather, how do we engage the best content creators, which doesn't necessarily mean the largest, right? It can mean the most
Correct.
the
Mm-hmm.
most successful engaging their audiences. And how do we work with them through non-traditional means? This doesn't mean like paying them $3,000 for a
Mm-hmm.
video or something else. It means that, how do we engage them in this relationship on Lifetoken, so that they are effectively representing our products and our services? And the way that works, just to kind of summarize all of this, is there's a revenue sharing model incorporated into Lifetoken. So when 100 life goes from me to you, JP, Lifetoken actually mints. There's no minting associated with that, because it's my 100 life going to you.
Right.
Lifetoken mints 14 life. That's our compensation. We're getting paid in the same currency that we are transacting in. So now the 14 life now is new to the entire ecosystem. We share that 14 life with brands, and we share that 14 life with content creators. So there's two levels of sharing underneath us. So we are left with 10 life, and we share 2 life with the brands, and we share 2 life with the content creators. So for every 100 that go back and forth, there's 14 life that gets minted and shared. So therefore, if you are active on the site, you can accumulate tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of life very quickly just through this revenue share model.
Wow. That's really giving the power back to brands and creators. And going
Well,
back to
we're aligned with them, right? Because we have the same life in our wallet, and everybody's
exactly.
aligned. Everybody's on the same page, which is, okay, what do we do with this life? We've accumulated it, we've earned it. Now we can spend it. That's really cool.
It is. Now, last question for you today before we let you go, Jeff. And man, the level of information and how easy you make it for people to understand is just amazing to me. I love it. Thank you for that. The question is today, let's say somebody say, okay, I want to get started. What are they supposed to do today to start with the whole thing we're talking about?
Okay, just download the app. That's the first thing. Download, sign up. It will take 3 minutes. We've timed it. We have stopwatches, literally. There's one-time passwords, so you'll have to have a cell phone. You'll have to have a mobile phone, and that verifies that you're the user. Once you sign up, we're going to have them contact you, JP, because when they contact you, we're going to include them in this LPP program automatically, and we will give them 1,000 life in their wallets the minute that they contact you. So all they have to do is send you their username, and we will put 1,000 life in their wallet. So now they can start using it, but we encourage them to also start earning it. And then if they want to, they can start purchasing it. But we would like to have people experience the platform first and not worry about purchasing it for a little while.
Fantastic. Fellas, go ahead and sign up today. Download the app. Is available in your app store, Lifetoken. I'll put more information in the description of the video for you guys. But go ahead and download it. You heard what he said. Download, contact me with your username, and you're getting some life in your wallet today. Oh, man, amazing. Thank you so much, Jeff. We appreciate you. What is the last word or last thing you would like to tell people that are excited about this product and looking forward to, partnering with you guys and seeing it grow? What would be the last thing you want to tell them?
Yeah, listen, I think we're finally doing something right here for this industry and for the world in general. There's a lot of other industries that are going to benefit from this and communities that are going to benefit from this, religious organizations. We think that gaming communities are going to benefit from it, and real estate, and you name it, even governments are going to benefit from this by engaging their constituents and their citizens. So we think that starting with the content creators is paramount because it's such a desperately needed technology for a massive audience that is getting overly crowded, and most importantly, it's just been unfair. And so we want to bring the fairness back into this and help everybody, achieve what they want to achieve, which is revenue generation, which is having fun, producing great content, and making this world a better place. So that's my last word on this.
All right, fantastic. You heard it from the man. All right. Thank you so much, Jeff. Stay backstage. Let's go ahead and close it here, and I'll be right with you. All right. All right, everyone. As you can see, this is real. Today, you can start today. You can start earning life today. All you have to do is just go to your app store, look for Lifetoken, download the application on your Apple App Store or your Google Android Play Store. Download today, register, and what you need to do, simply send me your username. And you can do that simply by sending me an email. My email is connect@jphightek.com. Connect@jphightek.com, and we'll take it from there. And you will be getting free life. You already know what you can do with that. Is amazing. That's free money back in your pocket today. And this is phenomenal. You'll be able to really do amazing things and reward your followers and create campaigns and call to actions, different things where people will really see the value in, encouraging, giving them more incentives for them to actually do the same things you've been asking them to do and they were reluctant to do. I mean, there's so many applications that we're about to learn throughout this series of videos. So I want you to stick with us here and let's grow together. Be safe. Again, my name is JP Hightek, your humble host. Be safe, and we'll see you next time for another video. Ciao. See you next time.
Introducing Lifetoken. Lifetoken is redefining social networking for content creators, brands, and audience members through our participation-powered marketing channel. Value your audience like never before and reward your audience members with life. Take back control of your channels and your community. And build your presence on Lifetoken. Download the app now and find out how Lifetoken can power up your social channels.